Hi, welcome back to the Science Chef Academy. I am Gabtech, your ICT tutor. We are looking at Cambridge IGCSE ICT course. We are treating paper 3, data analysis and website authoring. We are looking at October-November 2021. In the previous video, we look at data analysis part of this question. In this video, we shall be looking at website authoring. Don't forget, paper 3 is 2 hours 30 minutes long, just like paper 2, and paper 3 is 80 marks. In the previous video, we look at data analysis using Microsoft Excel, where we look at the first part of this question. And today, in this video, we are looking at the second part, and we are starting from page 6. On page 6, here we start task 3, web page. You are going to create a web page and style sheet to promote recycling plastic waste. The web page and style sheet must work in any browser. So let's take note of this. Number 18, create a new folder called plastic. So we go to our source file folder, right click, go to new, a new folder called plastic according to the instruction. Then locate the following files and store them in your plastic folder. Don't forget, whenever you want to create web pages, you need to put all the files that you will need in creating the web pages in the same folder. It is very important. So these are the files that we are supposed to put in the same folder. Banner, we have 3 JPEG files: banner, bottles, plastic, and show, 4 of them. So we pick the files: banner, plastic, show, and bottles. So this file should be moved to the plastic folder. Then we have one MP4 file, which is beige, to the plastic folder. Then we have one CSS file, which is plastic, and one text file, which is plastic. So plastic CSS, plastic text are the files we are moving. Plastic CSS, plastic text. We'll move it to the folder according to the instruction. Then create in your plastic folder a web page called plastic. And whenever you are creating your web page, you have to put the file extension. This is what will make us to understand that it's an HTML file, plastic.html. So we'll launch. For my HTML file, I'll be using Dreamweaver. So there are other software that you can use. You can use iWeb, Dreamweaver, and Notepad can also be used. So I'm using Dreamweaver. Yes, I've clicked on Dreamweaver. Then first thing first is to save it, and save it in the same folder, in the same plastic folder according to the instruction. Locate your, mine is on document, and it's on ICT IGCSE papers, October-November paper 3, and in plastic. So the instruction says the name of the web page is plastic, so that's what I'm naming it, plastic, plastic.html. So I'll save it in that folder. Then the next instruction says this web page must work in all browsers and have a table structure which fits 100% of the browser window as shown in the diagram. By default, the table structure could have pixel dimension or percentage dimension. In this question, it has been given to us in percentage, so that is the dimension we are going to work with. That's the first thing we need to do. So we go to the software. This is Dreamweaver. Here in the Dreamweaver window, I can switch between code view and design view. So this will really help me. I can switch between views. So if I want to go to, normally this is the code view, and we have the structure of your HTML code. We have the head section, the body section, and then if I want to switch in between, it's very easy. Don't forget that your table structure must be specified within the body structure of the HTML code. So if I switch between code to design, this is what I'm going to have. And since the first question says we should create the table as shown in this question like this, So the first thing we need to do is to know how many columns and how many rows make up the table. Anytime the question is given to us, we need to specify and find out how many rows and how many columns we have in the table. So looking at this, there's a fast way of getting it done. Very, very simple. The first thing you do is that look at how many rows, how many columns. This is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. Then to know the number of columns is easy. You go to the particular row with the highest number of cells. From there you can specify the number of columns. So from this one we have first column, we have second column, third column. So from this we can know that we have 4 rows and 3 columns. So that's the first thing, 4 rows and 3 columns. So let's specify that. So go to table and specify 4 rows and 3 columns. Specify that. Since we are working in percentage, we have to put it in percentage. If it was pixels, we specify pixel. So you pick percentage, and according to the instruction is 100%. 100%. So you click OK. And having specified the number of rows and columns like this, we have 4 columns and 3 rows. We can switch back to code view and see what has given us. So with that, we can see we have TR represents row. So how many TRs do we have? This first TR, which is close here, that's first row. Second TR close here, second row. Third TR closed here, third, and then the fourth. Then in each TR we have 3 TDs, specifying 3 cells in each row. So that represents the columns. That means we are on point. So let's switch back to design view. Then going back to the question paper, then we have it labeled like this. The first row, all the cells are merged. The first row, all the cells are merged. So we quickly do that. All the cells, so we select all the cells in the first row. Then you right click and go to table merge. So it has been merged. That is correct. Then the next one, the 2 cells in the second row are also merged, so we need to quickly do that. So we select these 2, right click and see merge cells. That one is done. Then the 2 cells here are also merged. So we have that. That is correct. Then the height of this first cell is 15% and is labeled A. So we need to specify that too. So click here, A, B, then the cells here, they are also merged, so we need to do that very quickly so that we can call it C according to the instruction. So this is C and this is D, E, F. This is D, E, and F. All right, we are very close to the instruction. So A has height 15%, so we need to specify that. So you click inside cell A. Then if you have the properties table open like this, just go to the height according to the instruction. Height, this is width, this is height, so specify 15%. According to the instruction, 15%. So then you go to B, which has width of 60%. So having specified this, go to B, which has the width of 60%. So you come to width 60%. Then let's check the height. The height 45%. The height 60% for the width, and height 45%. 45% for B. So then we go to D. According to the instruction, D has height of 20%. Height of 20%. So we'll specify that as well. Then let's go to E, has height of 20%, F height of 20%, width of 30%, two of them. So width of 30%, width of 30%, and also height of 20%. So the same thing for F, width of 30%, and the height of 20%. Then that is done. So if the height here is 15%, the height here is 45%. So we want to get that of the width of C. So if everything is 100% and then B has taken 60%, so C will have width of 40%. C will have width of 40%. 40%. That's for C. You notice that before I specify the dimension, I will click inside the cell so that I'll be able to specify that. So I think we are done with everything there. So we have done for this. B has a width of 60%. Width of 60%. So yeah, that is correct for B. So that's correct for B. So having done that, we can switch back to the code view and see what has happened. You would realize that all those dimensions specified, they are now reflected in the code view. So this is very, very important. And because the question will later ask to take the copy of this code, so these are one of the things they will mark, the dimension you have specified for each of the cells. So having done this, let's see the next instruction. The next instruction is each table cell is identified with a letter. That is what we have just done. Some dimensions are shown. This must be set as percentage values and not in pixels. I've already explained this, that sometimes we could be asked to specify the dimensions in pixels, but in this question we are asked to specify it in percentages, and that's what we have done. The cell contents shown in the diagram must not appear on your final web page. So meaning that the moment we are done with this, we should not what we are going to use to replace each of these letters is what must be seen at the final web page, not at the end we have the letters. So the letters are just there to guide us in specifying the object or items that will need to be placed in each of the cells. So table borders must not appear on the final web page. So these are key information that we need to bear in mind as we continue. So all this, if you are able to specify the table structure correctly, accurately like this, that will earn you 11 marks. 11 marks. And one more thing, we need to always, preview what we are doing each time in our browser. So before we go too far, before it becomes too complex, we can specify, we can preview it in a browser. So to do that, we have so many ways of doing that. Specify it in a browser. And to preview in browser, make sure that the last operation you have just performed, you save it to update the file. Then you go to, depending on the software you are using, in my case, I'm using Macromedia Dreamweaver. So I go to file and go to preview in browser. I want to use Firefox. If I have Firefox installed on this system, Firefox, you can preview in different browsers. Don't forget, the initial instruction was it should work in all browsers. So this is the preview in this browser that I've used. I've used Mozilla Firefox to preview it. So this is the way it looks. So let's go to the next instruction. That is number 19. Place in cell A the image n21 banner.jpg and place in cell B a placeholder to fill the width of the cell containing the video clip n21bit.mp4. So all these things we are going to do one after the other. So let's start with A, cell A. So we are replacing the content of cell A with the image n21 banner.jpg. So let's go. That's very simple. So to get it done, just come to the cell A. You can delete A or just highlight it like this carefully. Then you go to insert, image, and you pick the image, which is banner, n21 banner.jpg according to the instruction, and you say OK. So when you click OK, this dialog box comes up asking you for alternate text. Remember to always put a very relevant alternate text. So I will call it banner. I say OK. All right. The benefit of alternate text is in a situation whereby the image cannot load, the text will be displayed on that particular portion where the image should load. That's why it is called alternate text. So I have done that. Let's go to the next instruction. Next instruction is place in cell B a placeholder to fill the width of the cell containing the video clip n21bit.mp4. Also, display an automated text-based error message if the browser does not support this video type. So we need to do this very quickly. So to place a placeholder that will fill the width of the cell containing the video clip n21bit.mp4, that is very simple. The version of Dreamweaver I'm using does not support the image tag. So what I'm going to do is that where I have B, I will just open the image tag, video tag rather, video, then somewhere else I close the video tag. So then that's the first thing. The next thing will be that to specify the width of it will be equals 100% and it must be quoted 100%. Yes, so I've made it 100% wide. Then let me quickly go to the question and see what the question says again. It said be a placeholder to fill the width of the cell, to fill it. That's why I'm using that 100%. Contain the video clip. So this is the video clip that I'm going to make the source of the video. All right, let's quickly do that. So I'll specify the source. Okay, then I'll need to specify the attribute of the source, and that will be src equals the name of the file, and that will be with the file extension. Okay, this is the name of the file. Yes. Then the next thing I need to specify is type. MP4. All right. Then the next thing the instruction says, let's confirm, is that it should display an automated text based error message if the browser does not support this video file. So I could even pick, so I'll pick this and put it this video type. Okay, so let me save and then preview before we continue. So from there we'll know if there's anything wrong with the code. Okay, it seems all right. Okay, so first of all, the first image we inserted, which is the banner, does not fit properly in the cell, so we need to do something about it. And then the video file we inserted too, okay, so we need to do something about it so that it will have the play control. So let's quickly do something about this. So to get that done, it's very simple. From the preview, since we could not see the control button, so within the opening tag of video we specify the controls. Save. Let's go and reload the browser and see the way it behaves. Okay, from here now we can see that it's working, so the video is playing, so this is correct. So I think we are good with this. So let's see the next instruction. For C, insert the image N21 bottles for C. So we select N21 buttons, image N21 bottles for C. So we can call it bottles. All right, that has been inserted. Then the next line of instruction is for E, the image N21 plastic for E, N21 plastic. So we select E, insert image N21 plastic. So we can call the other test plastic. Then the next instruction is for F N21 shore. For F N21 shore. So that's what I'm doing now. Offshore. Then I say okay. So let me save and reload the browser and let's see the way it looks. So this is the browser preview, but we can see that all the objects in each of the cells are not properly fitting in. So we'll know what to do according to the instruction. Let's see the next instruction. Place inline style attribute into the HTML so that each image fits the width of the table cell with its aspect ratio maintained. Wow, so that's what we are looking at. Each image fits the width of the table cell with its aspect ratio maintained. So how do we get this done? Yes, it's very simple. Now for each of the images, we have allocated the dimension of the cell that will contain the image, each of the images. So to get that done, you go to the first image, then you add an inline style. An inline style is a style that affects that particular line alone, that particular line of code. So we can do that. Just bring your cursor immediately after the img tag, press space and go to style, st, from style pick width. Since we are working in percentage and the instruction says that it should fill the entire width, so to fill the entire width will be 100% of that cell width. So we put 100%. Notice that we are only doing that for the width because the question says that we should do it for the width and maintain aspect ratio. So if you are maintaining aspect ratio, so we specify nothing for the height, then we specify for the width. By so doing, the aspect ratio is being maintained. So having done this, let's save and just preview and see what we have. So I preview. From the preview, we might not see it taking effect in all the cells, but it has happened to the first. So let's do it for all of the cells. So from there, we'll see the way it will look. So we have specified that for the first cell. Let's go to the next cell. This is another one. So I'm specifying style, or I can rather just copy it since I'm specifying the same thing for all of them. So that will make it easier and faster. So I'll just come here and paste it. Yes, okay, I'm doing it. This another image too. I'm doing it for this image. So I'll just paste it, since the question says we should do for all of the images. So I've done that and I save. Now I've saved, so it is updated. Now let me reload the browser and see the way it will look. Oh, now we can see that all the images are perfectly fitting within the cell. Yes, this is very, very correct. Within the cell we can see all. Then let's go to the next instruction. We can see the browser preview is looking very good. The next instruction says place in cell D the content of the file n21plastic.txt. so this is a text file. The content, so to place the content of this file, that means this file must be open. So that's the first thing to do. Let's quickly do that. So I open txt to copy the content according to the instruction. Yes, this is it. So Ctrl A to select all, then I right click to copy. Having copied it, let's see what the instruction says again. The instruction says that display this text as 3 paragraphs. Add as a 4th paragraph the text. So the first thing is to display it as 3 paragraphs. So let's quickly do that. I go to the source code where we have D. So I'm going to, let me make this like this so that I can create space. So I have pasted, said as 3 paragraphs. So this is 1st, 2nd and 3rd. So let me arrange it very well. I'm tabbing it. So let me go back to the instruction again. Then add as a 4th paragraph the text web page last updated by, followed by your name, center number and candidate number. So let me copy this, web page last updated. Okay, So followed by your name, center number, and candidate number. So I'll just come here, followed by your name, center number. In my case, I'm using 1 2 3 4, and candidate number 5 6 7. Then apply style H2 to all text in cell D. So to do that is very simple. So don't forget, the instructions say we should use style H2 and we should display it, the text, so that they will be in different paragraphs. So to do that, I'll just come here and use H2 for each of the lines so that it will be seen as a different paragraph. And I close these two, come here, the second paragraph, H2, and I close it here. Then the third one, H2, I close it here. Then the fourth paragraph, H2, and I close it here. Okay, then I save. So the next thing, let me look at the instruction again. So before we go to the next instruction, let's preview and see what we have, whether we are getting it right. This is a 3 marks instruction. So let me save and reload the browser. Yes, you can see it, and we have it in the preview, 4 paragraphs, the first, second, third, and fourth. So this is intact. So from here we know that what we are doing is very correct. So let's go to the next instruction. The next instruction says attach the style sheet end-to-end plastic.css to this web page. Then you save your file. So let's quickly get this done. How do we attach the style sheets? Actually, style sheet is to be attached to the HTML code, and that style sheet must be placed within the head section, of the HTML code. So what we do is that bring your cursor anywhere within the head section, bring your cursor there. So depending on the software you are using, for me, I'm using Dreamweaver 8. So I'll bring the cursor here, then I go to text. Don't forget, it depends on the software you are using. So I go to CSS styles, then I go to attach style sheets. So here I'm going to, because I want to link it, we add it as link. Then I go to browse, go to the same folder. Don't forget, we have said that every file you need for the web page must be placed within the same folder. So we are still working on the same folder, which is plastic. So I click this and I have it, the file name and the URL the same. Then I click OK. Then I say OK. So having done that, you will discover that the style sheet has been automatically linked to the HTML file. So you can see that here with the HTML tag link. You see it here. That has been done. So let's see the next instruction. Save your web page. Display the HTML source of your web page in your editor. Okay, so let's go back, save. Having done this, let's save. Ctrl S to save, or just come to file and click on save, because I have saved it. Then I may need to preview it so that I see the way it looks, having attached the style sheet. So I reload my browser, or you can see now. So okay, depending on the setting, the formatting in the style sheet, it has taken effect on the web page, and this is the preview of it that we are seeing. Very good job. So the instruction says display your code in your editor. In my case, this is the editor I'm using, and this is all the code I've used to create this web page. Okay, let me see the instruction again. Display the HTML source of your web page in your editor. Then take a copy of the HTML source and place this in your evidence document. That is under evidence 3. Evidence 3. So that's what we want to do now very quickly. So having displayed it this way, let me maximize the screen so that we can see it at once. Then I will just Ctrl A to select all of the code according to the instruction. Then I right click to copy. Then I go to my evidence document. Don't forget the evidence document we are using is the one we started with a spreadsheet package data analysis. So still the one. So I'll come here under evidence 3 and paste. This all the code and paste. Except otherwise you are not meant to edit anything when you have copied the code here. The next instruction is display the web page in your browser. If necessary, resize it so that all the page can be seen, all text can be easily read, the address bar is visible. So place in your evidence document screenshot showing the web page. Notice that the screenshot could be in plural, showing the web page in your browser. So this is what we want to do now. Okay, let's quickly get that done. So save. Make sure that you have saved and you have the updated display of your browser preview. So, and this is it. If possible, let me try if I can resize it such that I'll be able to take. Okay, I think it's better I take 2 screenshots. So, and when you want to do that, you take it with the address bar. So this is the top and then this is the bottom that I will take. So let's quickly get that done. Okay, so I'm going to take these screenshots. So that's evidence 4. Let me go back and take the other part, of the. So this is the other part that I'm going to take. So just place this under this. Yes. So this is the way it looks having taken the screenshots. Then let me go to the next instruction, and that is the end of the paper. The total mark is 25, and that is what we have just done. Don't forget, they said all the page can be seen, all text can be easily read, the address bar is also visible. Very important, the address bar is also visible. And if you look at the preview, you will see there from the evidence we have taken, we can actually read it. And then this evidence 4, and put it there, evidence 4. Yes, so that is very correct. So I think the last thing will be task 4, which is printing the evidence document. Save and print your evidence document. Make sure your name, center number, and candidate number appear on every page. So don't forget, printing the evidence document is also key, because the evidence document carries some marks, sometimes up to 20, and you can't afford to lose the mark by not printing it. So this evidence document, go to print preview and see the way it looks like. Print preview. So let's see the way it looks like. This is exactly the way the evidence document looks like. So let me just zoom it such that we can see it very well. So if you scroll up and down, so this is what you see. Okay, from evidence 1, evidence 2, all these evidence 1, 2 are from the spreadsheet aspect, the data analysis. Then the last 2 evidences from web authoring. So when you are satisfied and you ensure your name, center number, and candidate number appear on every page, then you hit the print button. With this, we have come to the end of October-November 2021 paper 3. And in the word of Leo Buscaglia, he said, and I quote, "Change is the end result of all true learning." If you have learned anything at all, kindly like, drop a comment for us, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. Until I come your way next time, if you need to learn more on paper 2 and the first aspect of paper 3, please see the previous videos. Thank you and see you next time.